PhilsGang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney at PhilsGang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgate.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
All this stimulus is going to lead to better GDP growth and better earnings growth.
Better GDP growth? The economy's going to grow because we're putting more debt on? What are you, nuts? That's not going to happen. Our debt has been killing our growth. We have not had a 3% GDP growth on an annual basis since 2005. Why? Because of our debt. And the stimulus is all debt. It's future debt. That's a big bold-faced lie. Now, if we couldn't reach 3% growth under Obama, we couldn't hit 3% under Baby Bush or Trump. Why? Debt. The debt killed you. All we do is our debt keeps growing. Let's think about it for a moment. How are we going to grow 10% a year? Remember, when we were at 35, when our national debt was at 35% of GDP, we were struggling. We had, at 35%, remember how everybody was nervous? Our government couldn't respond in time to emergencies. We're short money for war, worried about what if a recession happened, worried about Social Security, worried about Medicare, because our debt was 35% of GDP. You know what it is today? It's over 100% of GDP. What are you, nuts? And we're being told our economy is going to grow 10%? When we were told we had the best economy ever under Obama. Can get there 3% on an annual basis. We're told again that we had the best economy ever in any other time in the world. Best economy in the world. Never seen it like this. Under Trump, couldn't get to 3%. Oh, I see. So our debt has gone up 112% since 2007. And we're going to grow our GDP to 10%. What are you, nuts? That's insane. Debt is a killer. Think about that. 212%. I want to talk about 112%. Our debt has increased 212% since 2007, for God's sakes. That's why we can't grow to 3%. Now, they cherry pick. Tell us how. Remember when our GDP dropped 35% because of the pandemic? Then boom, turned around, went up 32%. Boom, turned around, dropped back down to 4 plus, and now they're telling us we're going to go from 4 plus to 10 plus. We haven't gone from 4 plus to 10. 4 plus was on an annual basis. They cherry pick. I mean, when you think about it, we are suffering at 35% of GDP. How the hell are we going to do it at 100% of GDP? The big lie, the economy will grow 10% a year. They don't even talk about the hidden cost. They don't want you to know about the hidden cost. For God's sake, one of the biggest hidden costs, the bills of our past borrowing. Those are all hidden. Now remember, the direct cost of debt. We've gone from 35% of GDP to 100% GDP. The direct cost is on who? Who gets nailed all this debt? Who gets hit with all this debt? The guy on Main Street. The Main Street worker. The average guy who's making less than $30,000 a year, he's the one that gets hit. It's his taxes that pay for this debt. The rich don't pay taxes. The corporations don't pay taxes. And when you have hidden costs, you have all this crowding out. The more debt, the more borrowing, rates will start eventually rising. If you think rates are going to be at 0% forever, you're nuts. You're nuts. What happens when the debt gets so big and the government has to keep borrowing and borrowing, remember what happens at your local bank. It crowds out Main Street, meaning you can't go in and get a decent loan. Your interest rates are going up because the government is borrowing so much. So interest rates go up. So you go to start a business, you sit down with your banker, and he tells you you're going to pay 12% interest on a line of credit for a new business. You can't do that. All this national debt that keeps going up, they don't want to talk about. It destroys our future. Now remember, the government will spend more of its budget on interest, which crowds out our public investments. We're spending $1 billion per day on interest payments. What are you, nuts? This is crazy. We're spending our deficits. Our deficits are $8.5 billion a day. $8.5 billion a day. We're spending $17.8 billion a day. Our income's only $9.3 billion a day. So if you're spending $17.8 billion, your income's only $9.3 billion a day. Our deficit's $8.5 billion. What are you, nuts? You're going to grow. You can't grow the economy. That's why the economy hasn't grown 3% since 2005. What are you, nuts? Lie. All these jibber jabbers. All the stimulus spending is for one thing, not to prop up the economy, not to help the economy, not to help Main Street. It's to prop up the stock market. When I see these politicians celebrating the $1.9 trillion, $2 trillion, celebrate. What the hell are they celebrating? That's another $2 trillion. It's going on our national debt that we have to pay. That means our investments are reduced. Our businesses, we can't invest. All our investments are reduced. This is nuts. $1 billion a day. Because see, when you are spending $1 billion a day on interest payments, more money is being diverted to these interest payments. So there's less available to invest in areas that are important to grow our economy. It's very simple math. You can't be spending $1 billion a day on interest payments and grow the economy. It's impossible. You can't grow jobs. You can't grow wages. The only thing that grows is the stock market. That's what they're focusing on every day. The stock market. How do I grow the stock market? Who benefits from that? 10% of the population. They get all the gains. They get 80% of the gains. Remember, every time the government borrows money for our debt. It competes for money with the entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur tries to start up a business, the government's competing. Remember, when the government borrows money and an entrepreneur goes and starts a business, the government's competing with the entrepreneur, elbowing the entrepreneur out of the way. The government gets priority. So the money that's left, they don't want to run on it. So what do? The bankers raise the interest on it because there's fewer dollars left in the bank. They don't want to run on it, so they have to raise interest rates so the demand won't kill it. And that kills startup businesses, which is the backbone of our country. You start reducing private investment, which we've been doing over the last few years, you can't grow. That's why we're not growing. 10% growth? What are you, nuts? But we'll make some money on it, I'll tell you that.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Remember to subscribe to my Phil's Gang YouTube channel to get both my live and archived radio shows. Also, my free Phil's Take on the stock market. Also, sign up and get a free 10-day chart and membership trial. That's right. Today, for 10 days, you get the color-coded chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add to your position, when to run like hell. Also tells you how to sell short. It's a beautiful thing. The color-coded chart follows the big money. Not the jibber-jabbers. Not the jibber-jabbers on these financial talk shows, these financial business networks. You want to follow them? Then you'll follow them right into bankruptcy. Okay. I mean, this is nuts. Such celebration. 1.9 trillion, 2 trillion more in debt. Everybody's celebrating. I don't get that. That's insane. That's insane. That's increasing our national debt. And these people are these politicians are celebrating. 480 billion. 480 billion that you and I paid in taxes will now be sent to states and cities we don't live in, and did a terrible job managing their states, managing the cities, managing their schools. Poor management. They can't pay their bills. They can't pay their fire, their police. Unbelievable. Listen to this example. If you live in Florida or North Dakota, these are well-run states. So well-run. They have a surplus per citizen of $35,000. So every citizen that lives in Florida, there's a $35,000 surplus. That surplus is usually taken and plowed back into the state for new roads, new schools, new hospitals, education, make things better. And that should happen, because if you do a good job, you should be rewarded for doing that good job to have a surplus. But now they're celebrating because poorly run garbage states like New Jersey and California, they don't have a surplus per citizen of $35,000. They have an unfunded liability, negative $35,000 per citizen. So what's Washington do? Going to reward them. They're going to reward California and New Jersey, and they're going to punish Florida. So they're going to take the $35,000 surplus from Florida that they should be able to put in their roads, into their schools, etc. They're going to give that money to New Jersey and California. You think they're going to do any better with it? No, they're going to go right through that money. All that money is going to go to bribes and everything else. They're incompetent. But think about this for one moment. This is what's in the stimulus, and they're celebrating? They are celebrating this? How would you celebrate all these states that are doing well? They're taking their surplus from them and giving it to the states, rewarding these states, these cities that did a horrible job, punishing the good states. This is nuts. This is crazy. Talk about nuts, talk about crazy. You know, the other day, when the debt, or not our debt, but when interest rates, the 10-year Treasury yield went up, then, remember, or went down rather, everybody went nuts, right? Buying. Everybody jumped in and buy all these tech stocks again. And I warned. I said, wait a minute, you gotta let these tech stocks, let them be tested, for heaven's sakes. You got to let these tech stocks be tested. If you take Apple, people are jumping in buying Apple. What are you, nuts? Why would you buy Apple in a downtrend? So Apple went up for 3 days. But remember how it works. The third day, you got to make sure that Apple has more volume than the previous 2 days. As a matter of fact, when Apple went down, it's like so many big tech stocks went down, and you're looking for a key reversal, you want to start buying those when they reverse and going back up, you got to make sure that key reversal is there. You got to make sure when the next day it goes up, you got volume. The following day, you got to have more volume than the first day. The third day is the key day. You got to have volume that's even more than the 2 previous days. That didn't happen. People don't know that. Thank God on my color-coded chart, if you didn't know that, it was red telling you don't buy, don't buy. And now what's going on with Apple? It's coming back down. What's going on with all these big tech stocks? Same thing. They had that little rally, and now they're coming back down. Because why? If you take Apple alone, like I said yesterday, it was a high of 145 when it started to collapse. It went down to, let's just use 116. 145 down to 116. To try to get from 116 up to 145, that's almost impossible. Because that means everybody who sold it, or everybody who bought it at 145, 142, they're holding on to it. They held on to it at 142. Dropped to 140, they're holding on to it. Dropped to 135, they held on to it. Oh, this is Apple. Went to 130. So the guy who bought at 145 goes down to 130. He's still holding on it. The guy who bought at 136 went down to 120. He's holding it. What are you, nuts? What does that mean? Well, he's losing money, and now he turns to where he thought, I'm going to stay at 142 or 137. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to make money. Now he's saying, oh, my God, I'm in trouble. I'm going to, as soon as it gets there, I'm getting out. As soon as somebody buys it at 137, I'm out. Are you kidding? We're at 120. So every time the stock goes up, they're always hitting somebody and says, if I get half my money back, I'm out of here. You know how long it's going to take you? In the first 3 days, everybody says, oh, look, it's over. It's over. We'll be right back. Show you how to make some money in this market.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com is not the only way you can stay in touch with what we do throughout the day. With today's social media, you can stay up to date with Phil's Gang current events. You can find Phil's Gang on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and more. Phil's Gang Radio Show is broadcast live Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Periscope, and, of course, YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Go to philsgang.com and find our social media buttons at the top left-hand corner of the site. philsgang.com and Phil's Gang Social Media, keeping you connected.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Game. Hoping you're listening to me on my YouTube channel. And here it is, Friday. What do we do every Friday night at 6 o'clock? I post my next edition. This will be edition 10 to we're getting closer to the stock market, to the crash. Why are we getting closer to the crash? What I do each week, I review the week and give you the clues that I see why we're getting closer to the crash. Now, I can't tell you the day of the crash, but we're going to be pretty close because go to my site, philsgang.com, go to my YouTube channel. Go to Phil's Gang YouTube channel. It's posted. And I do one every Friday. It's free. Tell exactly what's going on this week, what happened this week, and what am I identifying that's telling me that we're getting closer to a crash. Now, crashes take time. But the benefit of that, when crashes take time, is because remember what the scenario is. You get these big moves before the crash. Because, as I always tell you, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they've got to get their clients out, the big pensions. They got to get out the fire. Let's say JP Morgan represents the fire and the police of Chicago. They got to get them out before the market collapses. All of these big companies have to be out. All the pension funds got to be out. They got to make money. JP Morgan's not going to let the pension funds lose money. Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, none of them. They're not going to let their clients lose money, the big pensions. They don't care about you, the retail customer. Matter of fact, they use you. When you get to the peak of every crash, happens with every crash, and we're in that peak now. At that peak, remember what they do. They do everything they possibly can do to get you excited. Buy in the pullback. Get excited. Get you so excited you can't stand it. You got to get in the market. These are people who come into the market that have not been in the market. You always know when the market's going to crash when you get a huge influx of people, when your volume doubles. You get people coming in that have not been in the market. These people always lose money. They haven't been in the market in 13 years, 10 years. Now they're saying, oh, boy, Netflix dropped. Boy, Netflix went down. I got to jump in because I'm hearing Varney say, buy in the pullback, buy in the pullback. Hearing Kramer, hearing this one, and everyone thinks, oh, boy, buy in the pullback. So Netflix drops. Netflix drops about, I think Netflix dropped around 40, I think it was 40. Let me give you the number. It dropped from 587 down to about 492. So that is probably, what is that? Netflix, that's probably about a 16% drop. So someone's going to get in and say, oh, 16% drop? Oh, I'm going to get rich. I'm going to get in there. That's going to go to new highs again. I'm going to get in there and get rich. But what they fail to remember, when it was at its high near, let's just use 592. It's a high of 592. The guy who bought at 592, when it started to drop, he stayed in. Then you had all kinds of people buying when it was at 580. And the guy that was in there at 580, he stayed in. So everybody's staying in. They're all staying in. Now they start figuring out, wait a minute, I got screwed. I bought at 580, now the stock's down at 500. Or I bought at 580, the stock's down to 500. Or I bought at 670, or I bought at 570 or 560, whatever. All these people who bought, now they're saying, I made a mistake. If I get half my money back, I'm going to get out. So the problem you have, if you're buying now, is you got to go up through those people. They always say, if I get half my money back, I'm out. How many times have you ever said that? If I get half my money, I'm out. Now, all these big tech stocks, they're trying to drive up through there. They're trying to get up through that overhang. It's nearly impossible. It's hard to do. The only way it can be done if the institutions who own Netflix, if they decide to buy it,
Well, how do you know if they're buying it or not buying it? How do you know if the institutions who sold it now saying, I'm getting back in and buying all my shares, we're going to keep running it up? Or was it just the guys buying it coming in, speculators from Robinhood, buying on the dip? Well, you can tell. Because on my chart, if you look at your chart, your candlesticks are red and green, red and green, red and green. On my chart, the algorithms will keep every candlestick red, identifying that the stock's going up because people are coming in to buy on the dip, but there's not the institutions coming in. They're not coming in. And that's why it's going back down. Because after 3 days, there's a real test. That third day, you need to have huge volume to prove that the institutions that bought Netflix, the big hedge funds, the big insurance, that they're back in there. But the only way you know if they're back in there is if the volume on the third day, called the key reversal, is more than the volume in the previous stage. But we made it even easier. On my chart, you don't have to know that. If the stock's going up and the candlesticks remain red, it's telling you stay out, stay out. Now, obviously, you can make money as it's going up, but you know it's going to go back down, right, eventually. But you can go from a position trade to a swing trade or a day trade. But a person doesn't know what they're doing. They shouldn't be doing that. So all these stocks that people got in the other day, they're dead. They're dead. Tesla. Look at Tesla, what happened. We started to short Tesla because it went from green to red. We shorted around, I think it was around 810. And then it dropped down to around 540. We took our profits. We didn't get out totally. Took most of them, though. And now, then the stock market, then Tesla went up. And then it went up again. Everybody's all excited. I got to get a Tesla. I'm going to be a millionaire. I got to be a millionaire. I'm getting a Tesla. And today it's going back down. The last 2 days it's going down. It's going to keep going down. Now, if it doesn't, on my chart will turn green and tell us the institutions are now buying. Then you can buy. But let it turn green. And it's the trend. If your stock drops if Tesla dropped from 900 down to 540, and now it goes from 540 to 689 because you got in thinking, oh boy, it's going to be a great deal for me. I bought on the dip. But if the trend is down, and on my chart, it identifies, because it's a special chart, it identifies that you're buying with a downtrend. You're screwed. You're buying in a downtrend. You can't do that. It doesn't work. All these people are getting so hurt. Look, always remember, anytime you have big sell-offs, do not go in and listen to these dopes on financial networks that are telling you buy on the pullback, unless the trend is changed. You never think about it. It's common sense. What is trend? Trend means where's the bulk of the money going? It's making a trend. And trends aren't made in one day. They're made over months. And the trend over months is down. It hasn't changed yet. Just because the stock went from Tesla went from 900 down to 570, and you get into 570 and it goes up to 690. That doesn't mean anything. It's still in a downtrend. But nobody will tell you that, will they? Now, what did we do in the meantime? I had my members buying the banks. Citibank, we're up 16%, 17%. Well, you're back into all these big tech stocks, Netflix, Google, all these big tech stocks. You're buying stock in a downtrend. My members are buying stocks in an uptrend that turned green. And I've got the only charts that does this. Turns green, it tells you when to buy. Turns red when it tells you to sell. Wells Fargo, same thing. Wells Fargo, we're up, I think, like almost 30%. Goldman Sachs, same thing. We got into the banks. Why would we get into downtrend stocks? Join my gang free for 10 days. You'll never get in trouble, believe me.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the .com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. Tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the .com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. Tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Then go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Now, here's Phil.
I want to own the things, being simple, I want to own the things that if I drop them on my foot will hurt. I want to own steel. I want to own boats. I want to own automobile tires. I want to own ball bearings. I want to own simple things.
Something hopefully hits them in the head, straighten them out. Can you imagine? That's insane. How do you buy stock? Well, he's just guessing at it. He's guessing at it. Just like everybody would think about it. When Netflix was going down 16% and Tesla was going down 40%, and we were shorting them, making money on the way down, and then all these people started to come and buy Netflix and Tesla in the last 3 days, we didn't. We took our profits and we turned around and we bought Citigroup up 17%, Goldman Sachs up 16%, Wells Fargo up 21%. We went into the banks because the banks were leading because our color-coded chart show was all green. But my point is, people are jumping into Netflix after it goes down 16%, Tesla after it goes down 40%, because they jumped in, they had no idea. They were guessing. And now they're finding out they made a wrong guess. We don't guess. We don't speculate. That's why we are into this banks. We had no overhang. We didn't have people selling. These stocks were making new highs. And our chart directed us there because it was green. Your candlesticks on your chart show red and green. Mine's all green or all red. And even before it turns green, it'll turn yellow. Give us a warning. The color change is coming. Could be red or green. So that's the beautiful thing. We even have a yellow color so that it tells us before it turns red or green. You get a nice warning. But you can't sit there and guess at this stuff. You're going to lose money. So they're telling us how this is going to be the greatest economy ever. Go to roar.
So, yes, things look great now. The economy's ready to roar.
No, it's not. It's not ready to roar. You can't grow an economy when it's 100% of GDP. We couldn't grow it when it's 35% of GDP. They're lying. Between 2009 and 2021, our Congress increased our national debt by $121,000 per second. So let's think of it this way. Between 2009 and 2021, guess what? Interest up 121%. Can you imagine that? Increased our national debt, rather, by 211%. 211%! You can't have a national debt up 211% and have an economy grow. The majority of 211% was over the last 5 years. That's why Obama and Trump could not reach a 3% GDP. Oh, now they're going to reach a 3% GDP? What are you, nuts? Stop lying, everybody. These jibber-jabbers are unbelievable. Our politicians, they always remind us about the dangers of the growing national debt. Oh, it's dangerous, the growing national debt, because it's got to be repaid with interest. But then they approve a $2 trillion spending bill, which is debt. It doesn't go anywhere to improve our economy. It goes to this $350 billion or $480 billion. None of it goes to improve our economy. It's going to, like I told you, those states that are not doing well, those states who are managed terribly. It should be going to the states who are doing well. Why are you rewarding the states that are doing terribly? Florida, North Dakota, per person, surplus, $35,000. California, New Jersey, negative $35,000. Now, the net cost of our national debt, which rises $5 billion a day, and you're telling me that this economy is going to boom? Our budget deficits, we're spending $3.8 billion a day more than we take in. Who pays for that? Not Buffett, not the big boys. The average Main Street worker who's making less than $30,000 a year, he's paying for that. That's why he hasn't got enough money to maintain his 401k. Don't tell me the economy's going to grow. You're lying. It's the taxes from the people who are making less than $30,000 a year is paying off this debt that's going up by $5 billion a day, and the budget deficit $3.8 billion. What are you, nuts? Each year, we're paying hundreds of billions of dollars just to service the outstanding debt. And that is why since 2005 we've not had an annual growth of 3%. With each year, our politician ignores the problem of the excess spending. They don't care. Why? Because it doesn't affect them. The average politician has a net worth of $1.2 million. He doesn't care. And don't forget, he's raking in most of his income, not from being in Congress, but from being in the stock market, using inside information. There's no consequences for him when the national debt's going up. But how about the consequences for the guy who's making less than $28,000, less than $30,000, less than $50,000, less than $60,000? The consequences are horrible. Horrible. So what do you got to do? You got one of the best markets in the world right now. Why? Because it's being rigged to the upside. It's being rigged. They're rigging the banks to the upside. Whatever they're rigging the upside, that's where you want to be. All you got to know is money going in or is money going out. And that's what my chart tells you. And if you don't believe me, I give you 10 days to prove I'm wrong. And during the 10 days, you don't even have to go to school. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to go to class even. Every day, Steve will post our portfolio, tell you exactly what to do. As an example, Caterpillar.
We're going to continue to hold this one with just a scout for a short here.
And then he goes on and on and on and tells everybody what to do with Caterpillar. Now, for heaven's sakes, if you can't take 30 seconds, 1 minute, if you buy Caterpillar, that's in our working investor group, if you can't buy Caterpillar and spend 1 minute where we tell you exactly what to do with the stock, who else does that for you? Who does that for you? Go to my site, philsgang.com, where it says Get Started. And you can either follow my portfolio of 5 stocks, or you can follow our working investor portfolio of ETFs. Many of our members at the end of 10 days, they only buy the spiders, nothing but the spiders. Remember, 5 stocks is all you want to be in. Anybody who's in more than 5 stocks don't make money. The reason only 10% of us can make a living in this business because we stay mainly with 5 or 6 stocks. Everybody else got 10, 20. You can't make money with that kind of too many stocks. You got to stay with the top stocks. And then you got to learn when the stocks are going down, it's over with. You got to make money on the way down. You can't just sit there and trying to pick all these hot tech stocks and get in and make money. And that's what people are doing now. People who have not been in these tech stocks after 13, 14, 15 years, they're getting in now. Remember, a handful of tech stocks, the FANG stocks, started to blossom in 2013. They missed the whole move. The whole move. Now they're getting in because the market's pulling back, because we're getting closer and closer to a crash. And now they start getting in at the top. Now remember, this move to the upside we have right now, this is natural. This is what happens before any crash. We don't know how long it's going to last, but you got to be in it. You got to be nuts not to be in this move to the upside, because they're going to push this market as hard and as fast as they can and cheat and scream and yell to push this market up so they can get the pension funds out. Why aren't you taking advantage of that? We'll tell you when to get in. We'll tell you when to add to your position. We'll tell you when to get out and sell the stock short. We post it every day at 2 o'clock. Steve posts it every day, tells you exactly what to do. What else can we do? Come over to your house and do it for you? What are you, nuts? Look, the stock market's a great place because the market's rigged. And as long as the market rigged, it's a beautiful thing. All you need to know is when to get out. Before, when the market wasn't rigged, that's when it gets hard. Because you needed price discovery. It was between the buyer and the seller, what you paid for the stock. You bid against each other. You need to go through all the financials. What's their free cash flow? What's their margins? What's their top-line sale? Is their top-line sales or margins higher than their competitor? You don't even have to do any of that anymore. And then when the market goes down and finally gets in its crash, which will happen, you just ride it all the way down. Remember tonight, go to my YouTube channel where I'm going to explain what happened this week. It's free, and why we're getting closer, and I'll identify the clues to why this market is heading for a crash, even though it's rallying. Matter of fact, that rally is part of the crash. See you on the charts. Remember St. Jude, please, when you make money.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.